You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600. Hallelujah AM. What's going on out there? First of all, Happy New Year. Yes, Lord.
Right.
We in 2023. I'm joined by my main man, Anthony Shaheed.
Good morning,
What's
man.
up, my brother?
Oh, man, I'm thankful to Allah for being there. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters.
You bring that New Year in right, dog?
Oh, yeah, you know I'm bringing it in right.
2023.
I don't bring it in shooting, though, man. I'm like you on all that stuff. All that, you start off, boom, boom, I don't do it like that.
Well, that goes back, I believe, to the West, where the cowboys and everybody used to shoot and fire weapons and stuff up in the air on New Year's Eve or whatever. But we'll do a little bit more on that. Yeah, but you're right about the firing. But we got some good news on that. Okay. It appears that firing the guns and shooting off in the air, I know it might not have sounded like it to some of you, but it was down 50%.
Are you serious?
Yes. The police have reported that the calls for service were down 50% on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. And basically, I guess, people call, they complain. So that's how the police know. They calling, complaining. They shooting out here, blah, 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 blah. And so they had 50% less calls of complaining. But I don't know what it's attributable to. I was trying to figure out what is it attributable to.
Whatever it's attributable to is good, though, because it's halfway.
No, it's halfway. It's 50% less. That's a lot.
That's a whole lot.
That's a lot. I thought maybe 10 or 15. Oh. But I noticed there was not much firing repeatedly going on up until right at 5, 10, 15 minutes before 12.
Okay. Well, you know that in the department now have a thing called a shot spotter.
Shot spotter.
So they can find out where a shot is and know exactly where it is. And I'm quite sure at some point, I don't know how they doing it, but I'm quite sure they letting people know, hey, it seems like that's coming from 3912. It seems like that's coming from 5418 or something,
But on New Year's Eve, they don't care.
They don't care.
They don't care, but it was down significantly.
Well, yeah. One of the things I like to say is what goes up, come down, man. So we appreciate that, but I would be happy that if they just started off praying.
A lot of people don't understand that, though.
Yeah.
They don't understand. Probably they don't even think it through. They just wanting to fire and want to get it off, but they don't realize that if it's up there, it's got to come back down.
It's nowhere around it.
Nowhere around it. And if it come back down, it can hurt you, seriously.
Well, I mean, it's a bullet.
Absolutely.
And if you get shot, it ain't no promise you're going to make it. But I've seen people get shot to make it. But the bottom line is, it's a hell of a way to bring a year in. And they got a lot of old riches that I don't go along with. But that's me. They say if you eat black-eyed peas, you're going to get good luck. I said, well, hell, we should be the luckiest people in the damn world then if that's what happened. Some pigtails and some hog maws and all that old kind of stuff.
My sister made me some black-eyed peas, and she did.
Did it make you lucky?
Well, I was hungry. So I woke up hungry, and she had been trying to get it to me.
Oh,
and I finally, I think I wound up having to go somewhere, but she did bring it by the house and left it with my daughter. So when I came back, it was there. And boy, did I tear into it. I can't cook, but I sure can eat. I can eat. I have a couple meals that I can prepare.
I ain't gonna
but for the most part, that's that.
Yeah. I think it's some old traditions that was passed down to us, during slavery.
Absolutely.
And a lot of it. But anyway,
I had a friend though. I just want to put this out. I didn't know till some years ago that it was like folklore or, like you say, old folks' tales or whatever. That I had a friend's mother ask me to walk through her house.
They got
on New Year's Day, and my understanding is that women think, or the people that own a woman thinks that older women, because the younger women don't think nothing about this now, but the older women thought that if a man walks through their house on New Year's Day, it brings good luck. Had you heard that?
I heard all that old stuff.
All right.
If you walk on a crack, it break your back.
Well, no, I'm talking. Let's just get with New Year's.
So don't go.
We going down slippery slope now. But if you think about that, I can't understand the connection between the two. How do you think that a man walking through your house brings you good luck?
Well, for so long they didn't have
on New Year's Day.
For so long they never had black men in the house. We were somewhere on the field. They had the women in the house. So if a black man could get a chance to do anything, and during that time, my mother used to say that black women understood that men were leaders. They was the head of their house, and it represented something. There was a reason why, and I ain't gonna go into it deep, but they used to take the black man out the house. Mm-hmm. This was a thing that I know for a fact they did because I saw so many people that I went to school with. If they wanted to get welfare, if the white folks wanted to assist you through the government to give you an orange card called ADC, Aid for Dependent Children, they had to make sure a black man was nowhere in the house. Mm-hmm. If a black man was in the house, that was a way that you wouldn't be able to get aid for dependent children. You couldn't get food stamps. You couldn't get a card to go to Homogeneous Hospital or any hospital.
That's still today now, ain't it?
Well, I don't know how they're doing it today, but I don't know if they take the black man out the house. But the way they do it now, they just send him to jail. That's another way. That's an
alternative.
Yeah. So, but anyway, hey, we're gonna go down slippery slope and start because you know I'm gonna go there now. So that's how come I guess that might have a reason why if a black man walked through a house, it meant something. But it meant something when a man was in the house. They would always damn near come to the man to ask questions. They wouldn't go to the women. Now, it's pretty much even if you go to a store or something, they'll walk right up to the woman as if you're not standing there. They got a bad habit that Elijah Muhammad wouldn't even allow us when we went to a store to let a white man or anybody put your wife's shoes on. You tell her what size it is, but you go back and bring me that box. I put my wife's shoes on. Don't nobody put my wife's shoes on.
Don't want nobody touching a woman's feet.
You're not supposed to, man, I'm just telling you how I went there. Now they doing the damn thing they want to, bro. But it's all good, but it's Happy New Year there.
Yeah, it is Happy New Year, and we have a whole lot of things to talk about. We got our man here, Demetrius Johnson, and we're awfully sad about that, but it's been a celebration of his life. Not a mourning of his loss, but a celebration of his life, and that's what I liked about it. And I know you were there, so you're gonna talk about that a little bit. But what I want to talk just a little bit about Gabrielle Union, and a movie star, rich lady. They got an article out that says that she cheated on her first husband. And she admits that she cheated on her first husband, but that is what it is. But what's interesting is she said that she cheated on him because she felt entitled to be able to cheat on him, and she felt entitled. Hold the phone.
You say you didn't want no slippery slope.
I want you to respond to this. She said she felt entitled to cheat because she paid all the bills.
Damn.
How about that? Give me some thought. What's your thought on that, brother?
What's my thought on that? You married for better, for worse, and maybe for whatever reason, I'm not sure the condition the husband is in, but I know for a long time, for the most part, they never wanted us to work.
Yeah.
They never gave us, and they do that a lot now, and that's why you see a lot of black women in position of power. I'm just keeping it real because this is done by design. This is not done by no mistake. So for to say that somebody do, sometimes I have to carry the load, sometimes you have to carry the load. Sometimes it's not bad for a man to cook. Sometimes, she might want to cook. But maybe this time she's carrying the load. But what if the man flipped around and said, I'm paying all the bills in the house, so I can just go out and get me something anytime I want to.
That's what she said. But that's what she's saying. She says she paid all the bills so she could go out and get her some whenever she wanted to.
Well, how many times did she do that?
And she said she got this from her daddy because her daddy told her whoever has the most gets to do what he or she wants. Now, let's does that actually translate into whoever make the most money, whoever's doing the most, get to go out and do the most?
That shouldn't be nothing like that. That should be, if you marry somebody, brother, you're going to have some ups and downs, but that's the last damn thing. Yeah. I don't care if a person got down sick and you have to take care of them. You don't start saying, well, since he down sick, I need to be going get me something. You're supposed to be praying and then say, after the Quran says after 4 months and 10 days after a person passed, then you go get married again. But you're supposed to be right there with your husband or your wife. If she's sick, you don't start talking about, well, I got to go get me something. She's sick now and I got to take care of her and I'm spending more time doing that.
She was married. Her first husband was this NFL player, Chris Howard. And I don't know much
Chris,
about him. I don't know pretty much know anything about it. But she claims that she was bringing in all the money and she was paying all the bills, so she got a chance to go out and do what she wanted to do.
Man, I want to go to a break. I think
you
would
won't go to
please.
You won't break this up.
No,
All right,
no,
let's
you
go.
do it.
You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600. Hallelujah, AM. We'll be right back.
On lock.
Quit that playing.
Oh.
Welcome back, St. Louis. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600. Hallelujah, AM. I'm here with my main man, Anthony Shaheed.
Yeah, this is a hell of a program.
Yeah,
You said, I wish Carla May was here or something, because
You know
seem
what?
like you need.
You are correct. We needed Carla May and we needed Sister Felicia, because I want to hear the woman's side of this.
Wait.
Yes.
What about Seth? Well, hold up. Can I just do a little something different?
Well,
I want to see somebody else that's real close and see what they would say about it. What about Seth? Seth, what do you say about this stuff that he talking about? What you saying if your wife doing all the money, she making all the money, she bringing all the bread home?
do you think she's entitled?
Is she entitled to anybody want to see her panties and look at her panties? I mean, talk to me.
It's 50-50 to me,
Damn.
That's the way I see it.
I don't know if I should have brought you all.
No, you don't have no problem with it.
I mean, I know if I was the breadwinner, then she would probably want it to be the same way. So I gotta keep the playing field level.
So you would know that and wouldn't have no problem with that?
Are you saying you wouldn't have a problem with it, or what is that?
I mean, we're all in this together, right?
Yeah, we are.
So
I don't think so. How old are you, man?
I'm 28.
Okay.
You damn young people think way different from us older
But
people.
wait, he hadn't said. Let's drill down.
Okay,
Let's drill down, Seth.
Damn.
What is it? What would you do? Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I mean,
A simple yes or no will do.
okay, yes.
Huh? Okay.
yes.
Oh, you hear that?
I'm hearing the
That's the
very
young people.
Yeah.
That's the
damn.
young people from the young people's corner. They say, yeah.
This is some total different
Huh?
stuff. Yeah,
Well, I'm wondering, you know what? This is where we miss the opportunity for people to call in, because I know we got some callers out there that would love to get in on this.
I'm trying to figure out what kind of marriage is this. This is the kind of marriage that they just do it the way they want to. So would this be for better or for worse till y'all die? Or, do they? How do young people think now? Do you marry all the way till you die, or you just? Because I know they said in California about 10 years ago, I know this for a fact, they wasn't giving license out no more than 2 years because they said there were so many divorces and the court was so packed that they couldn't keep up with it. So they was really doing just like they do license. You have to renew them.
I know the average age of marriage has gone significantly up in my generation.
Oh, the average age, yes, absolutely.
So I mean, to be married when you're 19 years old back in maybe the 50s, that was normal. Nowadays, it's almost unheard of.
25, 30.
I mean, I'm almost considering, like, I feel like when I'm in 40 years old, my kid's going to be in first grade. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And I remember when I was in first grade, some of the parents, my friends' parents, were my age right now. So there is a little bit of a gap there. You add online dating onto things like that, there's a little bit more opportunity, little things like that. But, I think it's just all about timing, and when you find the right person, it doesn't matter if you're 19, whether you're 30, whether you're 35. I think the importance is that if you love somebody, And regardless of age, I think
You love her. You tell her
gotta
she
know
can have
when to
whoever
hit
she wants.
Well, I mean, but that, he's making an adjustment in his relationship with a woman to allow her to go out and do this if she is the one bringing in all the money. You hear what I'm saying? And I'm sure it'll probably bother him, but he recognizes that.
You don't seem like it bother him.
Well,
He's saying
would it bother you?
In what way?
I mean, that your woman or your wife is who's bringing home all the money decides she's going to go out and get some.
Well, it would definitely motivate me to make more money.
Okay.
That's some motivation. That's an incentive, huh?
Some incentive.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Well, there you have it. But Gabriel, she come on out with it now. She came on out with it. She says she felt entitled to cheat on her husband because she paid all of the bills.
She shouldn't even be around about money.
Well,
that shouldn't be. That ain't what marriage is about.
No, it's
Whoever's
not.
got the most money and this, that, and other. Whoever is in position to do whatever needs to be done, and especially in this day and time, sometimes it takes two to do it. Yeah. So I guess if she doing 51, he doing 49, she can still get away all the time.
Well, wait a minute.
Or they do half cheating.
Wait, let's be clear. In her defense, she wasn't saying he paid some of them and she was paying some. She said she paid all of the bills.
Okay.
So she said she's paid all, meaning I paid everything.
So every man to pay all of the bills, because I've seen a lot of fathers that come in and would take care of 16, 17 kids, and this is no exaggeration. And like Brother Sotan, he didn't have 16, he had 9 children. And Brother Sotan would work 2 jobs. So what you're saying with that type of mindset is that any man or any person who's doing all the work like that, I guess the other 8 hours he just do what the hell he want to do.
And then we probably need to have a conversation with Gabriel Union too, because I would like to know what is the tipping point. But she's saying, and we can't put words in her mouth, she's saying she paid all of the bills, meaning everything that came in, she took care of it. She didn't say he took care of some and she took care of some, and so she felt she could go out and do this. She said she paid all of it.
It's a different kind of a pimping then.
Yeah, well.
So in other words, she buying his clothes, she paying the bills, she buying the cars,
everything.
She buying gas for it, she buying steering wheel covers, she buying tires. So in other words, she said, well, since I'm doing all this here, I'm pimping.
Right. So
you pimping me.
I guess the question would become to her, what if the man was contributing at least 10 or 15%?
Maybe she wouldn't get as much. Maybe she wouldn't stay out all night.
And then that's that too, because what does it? Just because she felt entitled to cheat, what type of cheating was she doing? Like you say, was she going out just tipping out for a couple hours and then come back, or would she go out all night?
She told him
for a couple of days, I'll be back.
I guess I'm asking another question. Would she tell him he can't come home right now? You got to wait because I ain't gonna spend no money for a hotel.
I forgot about that part. So you say she would have somebody at the house,
and he would have to wait.
And he would have to wait or
she
leave.
paying all the bills because it ain't.
That's a point. That's a point.
That's a damn crazy.
That's a point. I hadn't thought about that.
Man, this is crazy.
The more you thought about it, the more you think about it, the more different type of variations of the relationship that it creates. But like you say, does money and should money be the determining factor of a relationship?
No, when you fall in love with a person, sometimes really, you go through some stuff and there's some ups and downs, and it might be a bad period for that person during that time. And it might take a year or two because maybe he's trying to pursue something and it just ain't. Maybe he's a contract. I'm just making something up, and maybe he haven't got all his qualifications and went through all the things that he needs to do to be able to get some of these union jobs, which is damn near impossible and all that stuff. And it took a minute to get certifications. I don't know, but I'm just saying, to me, it sounds retarded. But what I don't want to do is have young people talking and saying what's on their mind, because I think that's one of the worst things that we do. We don't listen to young people. And the mere fact that he's talking from it, so what I'm not trying to do is say it's like you don't know what you're talking about, because y'all live in a world that It's like it's beyond
Day and
my
night.
best. I can't even imagine what y'all talking about. Somebody tells me, "Hey, I'm paying all the bills, so now tonight, you know,
Well, you
this
might
is
have
my
to go do
regular.
something, right.
This might be my regular night,
Yeah,
so
right.
you got to go find something
Right.
to do because from
I got
6
somebody
o'clock
coming over.
Yeah, and I don't want you to hear hollering because I want to be able to holler free.
I want to be, I want to be, I want to be able to get my groove on now.
Yeah, and then I wonder, is it a threesome then? If she can do whatever she want to do, how do they do that? You know,
Well,
so man, I don't want, man, I want to switch
She
up. I don't,
cheated
you know,
because
'cause
on
this
her
stuff is
husband.
great. This-
Listen, read the words.
Yeah, but-
cheated on her husband because
I'm gonna leave that one
she
alone. This is
paid
cra-
all the bills.
Yeah, this
Now,
is crazy.
Paying all the bills, and now the operative word is cheating. So what does that entitle you to? I think that it entitles her to do whatever she wants to do.
Yeah, they got a hell of a
Huh?
relationship. I want to know, did he know about it?
Well,
That's what I like to know.
I think my thinking is that I didn't read all the way through it. It was a lot to read, but I think there's an indication in there that he knew that
He's a damn fool.
It caused her to push for an open relationship, an open
That
marriage.
sounds like something that when you ain't married, people damn near say that they trying to spread their oats or whatever they call that, and they're trying to see what they want to do so they can find the right person. But once you find the person that you want, things can happen. That's one thing, but to have an agreement that, hey, this y'all married. I mean, I guess I'm from the old school. You looking for somebody that you can be with for the rest of your life.
Absolutely.
And you ain't telling her about
Better
if-
off or worse.
That's what. But you know, like you say, this is a new day and time. It's a day and time that I think that. They ain't got nothing going for them for real to me. It's like that sinking sand that you talk about.
Well, they
Because
are divorced now, and she married.
Well, no damn well she.
And she married another. She likes sports. She likes athletes.
Is she
'cause he
paying
was
all the bills? Is she paying all the bills in this one too?
No, she is not. No, she's not. But she likes athletes because this guy's Chris Howard was in the NFL, and now whoever the other one is, you don't know who he is. Yeah, but her other husband.
Well, I don't want to know about it no more. I don't even want
Her
to know.
other husband is a contributor. Yeah. And I would
Hopefully she ain't get everybody's a bum that ain't got a damn thing going for.
He might be the major one, the major breadwinner. You know, he may be bringing home.
So
money.
how long, I guess, do she have to wait before he gets some? Because he ain't bringing no money. Because do the other guy got to wear protection?
Well,
I mean,
now, here, wait.
man,
Hold on.
This
now.
is crazy, man.
Remember.
Yeah.
She said pay all of the bills.
Does she
All
buy-
So if somebody's paying some of the bills, she doesn't feel compelled to have to do that. You know, she doesn't feel compelled to want to go out and cheat if the partner or if the husband is paying some of the bills.
That sounds
You hear what I'm
crazy,
saying?
man.
She-
I'm trying
this-
to figure out how I got tricked until he starting this kind
Well,
of
it's worth talking about because I think it's important because it hinges on materialistic things.
Yeah, well, that's right.
You see what I'm saying? And marriage is not supposed to be about that.
Show the hell
Because when people, a lot of times, particularly a long time ago when people got married, a lot of them didn't have nothing.
That's right.
I remember when my mom and dad got married when I was born, my mom and dad lived in the basement of my grandmama's
I believe
house.
it. Yes, sir.
You hear what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
So that's love and people trying to do what they're going to do. But nowadays, he got somebody saying, I'm paying all the bills, so I get privileges. Yes, I get privileges. Yeah, I get privileges and I get sexual privileges. Huh? I'm just saying. I'm trying to interpret all of this because she paid all of the bills. So, but somebody that pays some of the bills, it doesn't seem like it kicks in for her. Like if she's paying all the bills, she's entitled to go out and do whatever she wants to do. If the man is bringing in some money, it doesn't seem like she wants to invoke that privilege. But where does it? How much? 10%, 15, 20, 30, 40? Does it have to be 50-50? You feel what I'm saying?
I'm listening to you.
That's why I wish Carla May and Sister Felicia was here so that they could
I don't think they
chime
would
in.
go. I don't think they. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't think they would go along with this foolishness. I really don't. I mean, I don't know. I can't speak for them.
What is it, foolishness?
Yeah, to tell me that my wife can go and be with another man. I mean, I'm through with this conversation.
Well, but Seth says okay.
Well, Seth young, too.
Yeah, he is.
Seth 28 years old, so that's right. I don't think when he get to be 48 or 58, he might think like that, and I don't know. So, I mean, but anyway, this is heavy
I
stuff.
know it doesn't drive you
I never heard it before.
Right. It doesn't drive you to want to commit suicide, I don't imagine, but I did want to bring this up because it's the new year.
Yeah. I think I would let her know. If she even said something like that, we couldn't be married.
People having resolutions and a whole lot of
So
things.
that's the resolution that they coming up with
So
now?
I want to talk about this a little bit. The co-founder of Dave and Buster's committed suicide.
Whoa.
On his 72nd birthday. But there's a backdrop to this because it wasn't financial. He had a stroke several months ago that affected part of his brain. And so the thinking is that he was so depressed and disappointed about his situation that he felt it wasn't worth living, and therefore he took his life.
Well, we always say whatever happens, because even with this other stuff, I'll just barely touch it. Not that I'm trying to play like I'm the most perfect man in the world, because I'm not. But at some point, you got to start thinking about God. You really do, because when I'm listening to all this stuff, I was just really kind of joking with it for a minute. But this stuff, like you said, if they really doing this stuff, and like you said, online dating stuff and all this stuff here, at some point, you got to come to reality. Anything can happen to us. We can leave out the studio this morning, and if it's raining, and fall. Only God knows that. Or you could be at driving a car, man. I'll just talk like that in codes, and something could stop before you get on the highway. Anything can happen, but at that point, we have to realize that God is all times the best knower, and He don't make a mistake. So to switch like that, I just,
Well, the thing too
let me just finish this point, because what you're saying, some of the words is that because I've had a stroke, or because I got blind, something happened. I walk around here and I love Mary. Mary lead me to the mic and make my hand touch her, so now I know I'm speaking right into her because I can't see. But God's the best to know. What did we do when we had our eyes or our sense of feel, or he didn't have a situation going on while I had a stroke? How many times were we thankful for that? But now, what did we do? And that's where I go right back to, and I know Carla May would love to say the book of Job in the Bible, how everything was taken from him.
Everything.
So at some point, you got to understand, what did you do to deserve what we have anyway? So I'm not like trying to play all holy with that, but I know one thing. He gave us the breath of life this morning. This Saturday morning, we up here now, and we breathing some air. We have to be thankful for some of these things, and you don't just start talking about killing yourself because something go wrong. But go ahead.
That's right, and you're right. And see, I look at it as God sometimes puts certain challenges
that's right.
in your way to test your faith. And that's what he was doing with Job. If you notice how he was taking things from Job, and Job's friends were saying, "Oh, rebuke him. That guy's not your God. He's not going to take care of you." And Job said, "No, I'm staying."
His wife, he told him to curse God.
I staying with, huh?
His wife even told him to curse.
And then God took his wife.
Yeah. Well,
took his wife, took his son.
All his children.
Yeah, all children. Took his crops, took his cattle.
Everything.
All of that. And his friends standing around telling him to rebuke him. These are tests that come your way.
Yes.
And it's all a test of your faith and your belief. And so, like this guy, Buster Corley, who killed himself, well, part of the reason, I think, is because he could no longer function in the manner in which he could, where he amassed all of this wealth and had all of these material things and could do all of these things. And he wasn't ready for the test. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of times you can work your way through these things. You know what I'm saying? But if you kill yourself, you don't have a chance.
Well, that's why it's that short prayer that a lot of us know is way deeper, but most of us know the short version of it says, "Oh Allah, give us the serenity to understand the things we cannot change, but the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference between the two." It's just two things: what I can change and what I can't.
Right.
If something has happened, I turned blind, or something happened, my leg just got amputated, do I throw everything in the towel?
Say I'm done.
And say I'm done?
I'm out.
as long as nothing affect my mind, I can lose every member of my body and still run the world as long as I get my mind.
Right.
And I'm thankful to be able to say, God, you gave me this here for all these years. Now you tested me. You tested microphone. Before we got on here this morning, they tested these mics. They test a smoke detector. They test a fire extinguisher. You better not give a person a car and they didn't test drive, or give me a form and say you didn't test it. Who are you? The highest machine is the most wonderful machine is the human machine. And so we get tested. And Allah tells in the Quran, do you think you'll be left on saying we believe and not be tried to test? He tests those before. You're going to get a test, man. But so you take a test to get into school, to go through a college, to be an attorney. I mean, you take tests, man.
Constantly.
So, yeah, so
and here's the other piece, man. The body and the brain, the mind, and just the whole body is such a miraculous thing that you don't know what it's going to do. Just think about people that have been in accidents and the doctors just say, well, he'll never walk again.
That's right.
But that person will rally, and next thing you know, it may take some time, 6 months or whatever, working through all of that. That person can be up and walking. Like my mother, when my mother had that aneurysm, they said, your mama won't be able to talk. She's not going to be able to walk. She's not going to be able to do too much of anything. So you all need to start thinking about putting her in a home. Well, we stayed with that. We stayed every day. We was at that hospital working with my mother. Next thing you know, the physical therapist come in, and we were downstairs working with my mother. My mother started walking, man, but that was because we were there and because we had faith, and my mother had faith. You cannot give up.
No, you can't give up. And that ain't how you think, but when we come back to this next segment, I'm going to talk about, I've seen people born without arms and legs and how they wrestle and all those kind of things. So it's how you know you perceive something. Sometimes people have something and don't know what to do, and some people don't have nothing and they know what to do, but I know we need to go to a break.
Right. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600. Hallelujah, AM.
Well, just keep it on lock. Quick play.
Welcome back, St. Louis. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600. Hallelujah, AM. We've been talking, me and Brother Shaheed, we've been talking a little bit about different things and talked about Gabrielle Union and how she feels about the person with the most money. Then we started talking about Dave and Buster's and the guy, Buster Corley, committed suicide. But what we talked about is your faith. And so what at the darkest, when it's the darkest, that's when you call on your faith the most.
Yes.
But, you know, a lot of times people didn't want to give up. But I was saying it's kind of like being on the golf course. Like if you stand on the golf course and you got a hole that's 400 yards away and you got 4 strokes to get down there. You hit that first one out there, and it goes maybe 100, 200 yards. But that second one, you got to really hit that ball hard to get down there. And so we call that, you got to go deep in your bag.
Okay.
You got to go deep in your bag to get your best club that's going to get you the furthest down that course. When stuff like this, when tragedy and all of these things happen, You go deep in your bag.
Oh, ain't no secret.
You go deep in your bag in your faith, because that's what I was in Reverend Packnett's church, Central Baptist.
Oh, man.
I was doing my campaign, and I was tired, man. We was about 3-4 weeks before the election, and I was just so tired. I was dragging around. But it was like 9 o'clock at night. He said, "Freeman, I need you over here at the church because it was an anniversary or something like that." I say, "I'll be there." So I was sitting there, and I was sitting there tired and stuff, and there was this song that came on. Not came on, the chorus in the church started singing this song, "The Solid Rock."
That's your piece.
And I held on to it, said, my faith, part of the stanza is, my faith is built on nothing less
I heard you say this one so many
than
times.
Jesus' blood and righteousness.
Yeah, that's your piece there.
I dare not trust the sweetest frame, but wholly lean on Jesus' name. In Christ, the solid rock I stand. All other ground is but sinking sand. Man, when they sang that song,
Yes, sir.
I just felt energy. I'm telling you, I felt uplifted. I felt uplifted, man. That carried me through the rest of the campaign.
Like you said, that's you tapped into your faith, and that's what motivates you. And everybody has to be motivated through something. And it's nothing like being motivated. And I think in every religion, I don't know a religion, if it is something I have to talk about, that prayer is not important. And at some point, you have to decide that I'll say this, and then we can go to something else if you want to.
Well, go ahead.
Anytime you go on a trip, wherever you want to go, whether it's California, or if you go to China, if you go to New Mexico, if you go to the Dominican Republic, and wherever you go, you got to take baggage and luggage. You might not have to have a lot of it, but you got to take something. So when you get there, you got what you need. This trip that we talking about, all of us going to get a toe tag.
Mm-hmm.
None of us are going to get out this life alive. There's nothing to be worried about. It's just this is something that if you're born not to be here for the rest of your life. You're not going to be here, you're going to die. This trip here, brothers and sisters in radio listeners, this is serious. You can't take this one with you. You can't take no luggage. You can't take no comb. You can't take your best fingernails and no eyelashes and your weaves. And you can't take your jewelry. Ain't none of that stuff you can take with you. The only thing you can take is your deeds. Mm-hmm. And at some point, you have to start thinking about those things.
Yes.
We have to pay for everything we done did. And not that you're going to be perfect, but you got to start thinking about, I done did a lot of stuff that I shouldn't even be here. Allah tells us in the Holy Quran, if he destroyed man and woman for the things we did wrong, he wouldn't leave a single creature on the face of this earth. But he created the rule of mercy. He's more merciful than us.
Forgiveness.
But you got to a point you can't keep on doing something and just think you ain't got to never answer for it.
Right.
So I think that's where it started coming in. At some point, you got to realize, hey, let me start praying and at least be thankful for my eyes.
Yes.
It ain't about the money. It's about how many times you blink in your eyes, how many times you can inhale, how many times you can swallow. At some point, you got to thank God, as you said, his body that he's put together in the best of mode, and how he's given us everything we need and ain't asked us for nothing in return. All he wants to do is praise him, and we can't even get that right.
That's right. And your family.
That's it. That's all.
And your family.
Yeah, because the family is more important. It's important, So.
And the thing is, it's about legacy too.
Oh man.
So see, how do you want to be remembered? What is going to be your contribution? And that's the way I live my life. And when I think back and try to reflect on things and stuff, what is it that people will know you for?
Yes, that's.
What I'm saying? Now, a lot of folks don't give a damn. They just living and carrying on any kind of way. But for the most part, you're here. You need to be useful. So what has been your contribution?
Yeah. Well, that ties into our brother Demetrius Johnson.
Yes, sir.
It tied into it so beautifully because what was his legacy? What did he leave?
Yeah.
First of all, again, we took a tremendous hit from really the 16th of December on to the 24th when our brother passed. And it was devastating to our community. But when you start thinking about everything that happened, even Seth was just saying that he just seen DJ somewhere 3 months ago, and I forgot exactly. What did you say? Did you seen DJ at work? The last place he was DJing at?
He was on 590 The Fan, the Reggie Blackwell show.
Okay, that's what you said. What, about three months ago, give or take?
Yeah, I'd say about August.
Okay, but DJ had a show that he was doing every week in Detroit, every night in Detroit, along with his Sunday program. Demetrius did so much with scholarships, something I know personally that he did with a lot of people. I'm just not going to put it out, but I know plenty of people that he helped. The people that really, even if we think about just the Thanksgiving, just that alone, for 35 to 40 years, when I say thousands, I'm talking about thousands upon thousands of turkeys every Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And not just turkey, be one thing for turkey, but I'm talking about the goodies that go along with it. You know, all the things.
Basket.
A basket of whatever, you know, I don't know all what's in the basket, but my mama used to go get it. And then make me go pick up her stuff. And I say, Mama, now, you know, I don't celebrate that. She said, but yeah, I understand, but go get my stuff. I said, yes, ma'am.
Carry on later.
I said, all right, Captain. And went on over there and did what she told me. But the bottom line is, he helped so many people just around that time. But it wasn't just, what I loved about DJ, Brother Demetrius Johnson, DJ, what they refer to as the big fellow, DJ wasn't just doing this around Thanksgiving. That's when he was known for doing it. He wasn't just doing it around Christmas. DJ was doing this stuff all year round, helping people. There was nothing to get him on the phone and say, hey, Coach, I got a young man that's doing this, and he needs some help. Or, hey, somebody at Mizzou, because that was his love. Hey, I got somebody that needs your help here. He would pick up the phone and say, hey, Dr. Adams, St. Louis Public Schools, I need your help doing this. I got some children that need this. Hey, Mayor Bosley, hey, Brother Shahi. He would reach out here at the Demetrius Johnson Center. And through that center, he helped so many young people. A lot of the equipment, especially at Tandy Community Center, damn near 90% of the equipment at Tandy Community Center. A lot of other centers, but I know for Tandy for sure, DJ knew that they needed some stuff, and he got it. I know for a fact most of the boxing, because I was dealing with Devin Alexander, and Devin helped also. Devin was always good at helping. But DJ also had nothing to do. DJ didn't do no damn boxing. But he made sure those young people had the gloves. He made sure he helped buy some of the mats they need to do and everything they do. I'm talking about from A to Z. I'm talking about scholarships. And when you start doing things like that around the community and help people like that 30 or 40 years, you can say what you want, but you're talking about the legacy. Look what his legacy was. His brother was talking about the dash the other day, and we always talk about that, the year that you're born, and if a person is born at this particular day, and he passed on the 24th, between the time, because he was 61 years old, what was your dash? And he broke it down to the way it's like you're dashing through life. He, excuse me, he dashed and ran from place to place to see how he could help people. I know it for a fact because he, and no different from a brother that's alive that I love, Mike McMillan, they touched so many people, and my mom and them, and probably your mom, they always benefit from what Demetrius and people like Brother Mike McMillan, but I want to stay on Demetrius John, how they dived into the community and dashed to help other people, and how they'll be away from their family, because what people don't understand in this line of work here, and you just got to talk about family, you're away from your family a lot. Even though you got other families out there in the community, and young people in the schools, and young people in Mizzou, and young people at the Demetrius Johnson Center and all that, but you still got a family that you're away from your family. Because it takes, you don't just pop your fingers and say boom, 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 like you're looking at some Bewitched on TV, and all of a sudden 1,000 turkeys pop. You got to get on the phone and say, I'm doing this. I need your help doing this. Hey, this company, can you help me here? One thing I know about, most people know, and this is the first time I've ever put this out, DJ had a hell of a connection with the hotels. And DJ would pick up the phone in a minute if somebody was outdoors and didn't have a place to stay. This is what I know for a fact. I won't put the people's name out. This is what I know for a fact. This ain't something I'm assuming or an assumption. This ain't no damn assumption. He would pick up the phone and say, these people here, I done tried to get them to a homeless shelter. I done tried to get them in. I need you to put them up for a week here. And then he'll tell them, now, within a week, I got to try to figure out something. I'm trying to help. But he would do this on a regular basis. I've seen DJ pick up the phone and call and help people get cars. This is what I know for a fact. See, with Demetrius, I don't need no notes. I can come off the top of my head. Demetrius Johnson was one of the brothers that helped with this UPS, one of the biggest companies global companies that was flexing with black folks and didn't want to have black people in position of power and had us doing all kind of stuff and showed trucks that was full and just thrown anyway for the black drivers, and the white drivers didn't hardly have to do a damn thing. It was Demetrius Johnson that got on the phone and said, hey, Brother Shaheed, we got a problem, and let's deal with this here. And we stayed on it, even though you had people doing some backdoor. I don't really know it's because they CC, so I ain't going to go off on them there because I want to throw their names up. I'm going to leave it alone right now.
With the handkerchief heads.
I don't even know if you can
keep going. Keep
going.
going.
But he did that. I tell you another thing that was really sentimental to him. He loved his daughters. He loved his family, period. But his daughters went in the 3rd grade. And I never forget, we were speaking at Vashon High School. That's when Devin them was over there. Vaughn is a knockout artist. Vaughn them was over there. And Vaughn Alexander was over there. And a lot of them, you know, I can start dealing with all them names over there. But anyway, DJ came in and I didn't know what the hell. I said, come on now, Ronnie Robinson, Colonel Lieutenant Ronnie Robinson was there. He wasn't a lieutenant colonel at that point. And we was all on stage going to speak to the brother. And he came in and mad. I said, man, what's wrong with you? He said, man, these people done lost their damn mind. I said, what? He said, my daughter's them in the 3rd grade, and she came on last night and said, they talking about 99 bottles of ends on the wall. 99 bottles of ends on the wall. You move one bottle, all the other ends would fall. And he said, they were saying it in such a harmony. It was like, these are 3rd graders now. It wasn't like they was practicing. They was all in sequence, so they've been around their mamas and stuff like that. And the mamas and dads and them telling them, well, you ain't saying that song right. Let's get it right. And DJ came, and he was pissed. And he said, man, we're going to take this. One thing, Shaheed, we fight for our families. I mean, other people. This is my family. I said, DJ, I'm rocking with you. Whatever you need to do, let's do it. And we took our time, and we took them a loose piece by piece, man. Sherwood Williams. That was another company right down there. They used to be called Broad Dugans before Broad Dugans brought them on Kings Highway and Wales.
Right across the street from the Sears building.
Right, the Urban League
is now.
That's right. And I be doggone, man, when we got on them, that was a global company that had 4,300 stores at that time. They thought we were just some small rinky-dinks. Just had another handkerchief head jumping in there. Handkerchief, I always got to raise their hand. Hey, Mouse, I hear, sir. I understand what you're saying, sir, but I hear, son. I shine shoes pretty good,
Let me be the one. The God bless the volunteer. Yes, Lord.
Hey, man, don't go there. See, you said don't go there. You just went there.
No, go ahead. Keep on going.
Okay. Thank you, please, because I don't want to get sidetracked and start leaking names out. But anyway, we wind up dealing with them. We wind up dealing with the convention center. Kitty Radcliffe. Yep. Kitty Radcliffe was clowning down there. They had all those contractors down there. Really was union people down there.
Again.
Always the union. This time it wasn't Painters Night in 58.
You come to union again.
But them, they had damn near 20-some trades down there and didn't have number one black. And then he was like, had to do all the work and told him to check with them before they plug the plug in because they wanted them to put a timer like we have a timer here before so they can know what time the thing got plugged in and what time they stopped plugging it in. I said, man, these people done lost their damn minds. And when we went down there, I think of all the trades that they had, I always used the number 100. I don't think they had two blacks down there, and they was making an issue about that. So it was that there. That's when we were dealing with Dan Dirtoff, who was the chairman of that. And then they came on in, and because of them and Doug Albrecht, we was able to work that thing out, man. But when I tell you they sit and clown down at that convention, but it was Demetrius Johnson and Rodney Hubbard and T.D. Alameen and quite a few of them, yourself, that whichever way they was coming, but Demetrius have did so much in this community. So I know you want to jump in it too, but when I start on him, it's hard to stop because of all the things that our brother did, and that's why the people came out the way they came out. I'm talking about from top to bottom because he had helped so many people. And that goes back to what you said. It's called a legacy. That's what it said, the life and the legacy of the big fella here. For the ones who are looking at our social media, you see a beautiful post of DJ. You see his obituary here. You see the American newspaper from early last week or whenever it was out here with a champion on and off the field. That's what Brother Demetrius Johnson was. He's a champion on the field and off the field. He was always talking about how he could help some young people and what he was good at doing. Demetrius wasn't damn near like me. Demetrius helped on both sides. That's why white folks really didn't have a problem with, but he wasn't their boy. But Demetrius know how to use them white folks and get things done and get them to come into the black community and help us to get things done. So he knew how to do that, but they couldn't get nothing off. I seen him go off for some white folks one day. I said, damn, they talking about Brother Shaheed. DJ, they need to be saying the stuff that you say, but he wasn't going to never let them think, you're not going to put no short pants on me. Don't think you're going to put some panties on me and put them up in my behind like it's a G-string, because that ain't going to happen. But you better jump in and save me, man.
You know, I don't know what phrase, what section of the Bible this is in, but there's a section in the Bible that says, how do you judge a man?
That's right.
You judge him by his works.
That's right.
You know.
That's right.
And that's what I think about when I think about Demetrius Johnson, because his works speak for themselves.
Yes, sir.
He was always doing something to help, trying to help somebody. And the city of St. Louis is going to be at a loss for him not being around, but his legacy will continue and his works will continue to live. That's the main thing. So that's what I just wanted to hit.
This is, like you said, this is a huge hit for us. And I'm not talking about just the black community, especially the black community. But this is a devastating hit for the city of St. Louis, period. This is not no regular hit for us. This is a huge, I don't even know the right word to say, a monumental huge hit. For this is a devastating hit for us. This is a hell of a setback, you know, to lose a voice like that, because they really don't want, and I got to go back this way again, they don't mind on the radio you doing a lot of singing and dancing and cooning and all of that. But when you're talking about serious issues and you don't mind bringing up serious issues, that's really what they don't want. They don't want a lot of black radio talk where black people are getting information out that can help other black people or just period, but especially us, because it's always us who catching the most amount of hell. Right. And DJ was, not only did he have that Sunday program, DJ had that program that every day in Detroit, he was speaking. Mm-hmm. And they was really trying to get him on some other sitcom, but he was saying, hey, man, you know, it's only so much I can do. I'm not going to do this all day long. I do have a family, and this ain't something that I just started. Mm-hmm. So the bottom line is, this is good enough, but he had a voice, and the voice is a voice that people listen to, they respect it. And he, on a Sunday morning, I don't know who had better ratings than him. Mm-hmm. That's why they always wanted to keep him on that Sunday piece. And I think at one point, he was so hot, they even brought him to a 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock in the morning, and his rating still was up high as hell. Mm-hmm. See, and that speaks volumes that when people are following you, that you go from one station or you go from one time to another time and your followers are ready to follow you, that's because you had a voice, people respected you, and he was able to get things done. So when they get through talking, like you just said, it's about your work. Very few people could outwork Brother Demetrius Johnson, the big fellow, as they call himself. So Demetrius Johnson, community serving, former Mizzou NFL star, passes in front of the top page, what you call top fold of
above the fold.
Above the fold. I got to remember how you said that there. Above the fold. This is what you see, the big fella here. And I'm just, you know, I love DJ. He was my brother. And the kind of love me and DJ had, we had two big arguments. But one time we was dealing with UPS. And I been down, me and him was arguing about something. I won't go into what it was. And he called me. That's when he called and told me this situation was happening. I was saying, DJ, man, what the hell you talking about? He said, hey, Shaheed, man, we got bigger fish to fry. We get back to this later. Mm-hmm. And it took us damn near a month to whoop that behind. His mother helped and my mother helped. Both our mothers helped. That's what made it so deep. And after it was over with, about 3 or 4 days later, I thought he's calling myself and talking about, hey, man, I ain't forgot that stuff that you did. I said, hey, man, you a damn fool. Who the hell you think you talking to, DJ? Told me, no, I'm serious, man. We getting back on. I said, man, hell with that, man. Let's turn that page. And then something else happened, which I won't go into. But we had the kind of friendship that if something was wrong, we would say it to each other. Yeah. We wasn't the kind of friends that everything he did, I went along with. There's a lot of stuff he didn't say. He said, Shaheed, there's a lot of things I ain't going to take you to because I know you, man. You don't know how to filter your thing. But we was real like that with each other.
Well, he's gone, but he's not forgotten.
No, sir.
And I've seen his daughters on television in several interviews, and I think that they will carry on this legacy, and I think this work will continue.
Yes.
And I think the community will move forward. And we're not mourning his loss, we're celebrating his life and the contributions that he made and the works that he gave St. Louis.
I like to see who in their legacy and their time on this earth, how they dashing. How they dash. He sent a really a hell of a signal to us as a people in what we have to do in the 61-year period time of life. DJ did amazing, and we haven't even covered his accomplishments. We just, putting a few things out. But, hopefully when we come back, I'll at least take 5 more minutes to talk about what all happened those last few days this week and what was happening and how, I'm going to tell you something else. Colonel Ronnie Robinson and Colonel Troy Dahl and some of them, when I tell you Chief Sharif and Chief Anthony and Paige Dale and some of the other municipalities, they came, and when I tell you, between the 2 days, I'll say they had damn near 200 police cars to give him his homecoming escort.
You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600. Hallelujah.
Well, let's keep it on lock and quit
Keep it on lock. We'll be right back. Boo. Welcome back, St. Louis. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600. Hallelujah, AM. We're talking about Demetrius Johnson, colorful, dynamic individual, and the contributions that he made to the city of St. Louis and other areas as well.
The world.
Brother Shahid is talking about that a little bit.
Yeah, I'm trying to, and I'm not covering. I'm just doing my best because it's not like I'm sitting up here with no notes. I'm just thinking about my brother. And I'm thinking about the works that we've done, no different from me and you, Mayor, over the years, all the things God has blessed us to do together. And I think about the last time I seen my brother, it was at the center. And didn't know it was the last time I was going to see my brother, And I'm thankful that I seen because I was going to go over to East St. Louis and something happened. And for whatever reason or another, I couldn't make it. And I dashed by and went in there and me and him talked, man, for about an hour. And I didn't know. Now, I got a chance to talk to him on the phone 2 or 3 times after that because, believe it or not, I had just talked to him about Ameren UE and told him that we had a situation with Ameren UE, and he had started pushing that on his radio program. And then I told him about the painters. I was just telling him about the Painters District Council 58. And I think we had just talked about it, but he told me to get back and, brief him because, DJ always, and I was like, come on, man, whatever it is, this. Hey, Shahid, I said, well, this is what I want you to do. Hey, man, don't be running my show. Don't be trying to tell me how to run my show. You always want to say, I said, well, I'm just tell you what we want to make sure we cover because there's too many of us out here that we can get information.
That's right.
But I didn't know that talking about Painters District 58 was going to be the last thing that I was talking to him about. And that was deep.
Yeah, we were still dealing with that. We invited them onto the show, right?
Man, come on, we're not going to go there.
Huh?
They didn't show.
Your friends.
And they didn't show.
Well, that's right.
And was putting out in the community, because I'm going to come back on DJ, but since you said that, I'm not going to steer away from that. It said that we like talking about him behind his back, and Mr. Wendell, the business agent, That we had did this to them, and we had did this to them, and all of a sudden, guess what? They got the opportunity to come, and they didn't show because they was concerned about what I found out. They was concerned about. They didn't really want me to start talking about the board members. It wasn't just the Painters District Council of 58, but the board members are guess who? Those contractors, those white contractors.
Or on the board. Okay.
So I didn't figure out how come the black contractors can't get a damn thing, and they got to pay $1,124 a week for a card because the damn board members that are contractors,
right,
that the black folks ain't on, that they only got one black business agent, and that's Wendell, in 50 years. So it all started coming to me. So they said, man, we can't come on this radio and talk about that. What I am going to do is next week I'm going to have a name of some of them boards.
But they could, and they should have.
Man,
Because if they had a defense, that was the time to put it forward.
But they didn't, it was other media outlets that reached out to them. I'm talking about TV shows, TV news stations. They ain't get back with nobody because they couldn't come see. You can't come out buck naked and then start talking about you got clothes on. Yeah. You can't start saying I got 95 contractors. Either we was right or we was wrong. Right. Either they had them or they didn't. Maybe it was 95 black contractors. They supposed to came on saying if it was 7 black contractors and then you done got rid of one, then we want to understand how do y'all do this process. They had an opportunity, but as you say, starting with Terry Nelson, because I remember the names. I can't help that I got good damn memory and I ain't got no notes in front of me. Yeah. I know how these unions are, and I know especially about them because I was a painter, and I know how they was with Shatro and them. Those were the ones that was running the painters union there. Them and Terry Nelson's were drinking buddies. They drink beer together.
But Terry Nelson was in a league all by himself.
You think so, Matt?
Oh, yeah, he was. I'm telling you, he was the epitome of prejudice. I mean, he was the poster boy.
Yeah, well, I can't argue with you.
He was the poster boy for stopping young black men and women from becoming apprentices in the carpenters union.
That's right.
That's right. I'll never forget that.
I thought Dick Mantell and them had something going on until I met Terry Nelson. Dick Mantell and them didn't have, and them, they didn't have, he was over the electrical union.
They couldn't hold a candle to him in his racist
and brothers and sisters, let's be clear, because we're not really saying what we need to say. So we can be clear, during Mayor Bosley's administration, Mayor Bosley is the mayor of the city. He's the mayor of the city, and he's talking to these folks from the unions, the carpenters union. And these people damn near act like they was Governor Wallace.
They were.
They standing in front
standing in the schoolhouse door.
Saying, I don't know what y'all think.
Stop young black males from getting those jobs.
Governor Barnett. They took the role like that on with them unions. Like, I understand what y'all talking about. I understand.
And held the line.
And say, I hear it say, but they can't pass a test. They can't choose bubblegum. They don't know how many marbles in the jar.
No, would say they couldn't pass 5th grade math.
Sure ain't lying.
5th grade
you sure ain't
math.
Lying.
That's what I'm talking about.
You sure ain't lying.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know,
my
problem is with, you know, and what we can't do, brothers and sisters, you got to remember now, it's a different when you got a trade.
Yes.
A trade is something totally different when you can put you're a bricklayer, or you can put a floor in.
A plumber.
Or you're a plumber. Or you can do drywall, or you can lower cylinder,
cooling,
or you can do electrical work. It's a different type because wherever you at, can't nobody stop you. Once you get that knowledge, can't nobody stop you. The mere fact that they made it their business, this is something, and I'm publicly saying this. I'm reaching out to right to work. At first, I wasn't really pushing right to work in most of these states because the unions have been so strong around here. I'm physically now reaching out to right to work to say I'm going to support them and what they're doing. These damn unions, I mean, even when I passed by the NGA, and I just started looking at how these white folks get down and how these white folks just gone on and says business you. Now, this is supposed, and I'm going to tell you, now, a lot of them ain't going to want to hear this, but this done under a Democratic president.
Yeah.
When they want to get through talking now, I know they don't want to hear talking about what Trump is. I already know Trump is like the poster boy for racism on the highest level. But don't forget, under Biden, his whole history about this jungle fever piece too now. And the mere fact that right now in St. Louis, under Democrat, that they supposed to have a Democratic president here, that this man, even though the Republicans got this thing here, the bottom line is black folks ain't getting their fair share at the NGA. And ain't nobody making a big issue about it yet. I'm talking about what they said, but it's like when they get it, they can't never find them. And if we wrong, I always tell people, I can be corrected if I'm wrong. If y'all got 100% black working at the NGA, I know you the FBI and all this, and they don't want nobody to talk about them. This is the spy agency that's going to be able to spy around the whole world on people. My problem is if y'all saying this old good boy network, y'all supposed to be the one when something is wrong. Y'all supposed to be the main people that's supposed to be checking out, but I don't see how you can check a damn thing out when y'all wrong and hooking up with the carpenters unions and them. That's they really boys there, the carpenters union. That's what Terry Nelson and them is. Now, if Terry Nelson ain't there now, but the Terry Nelson mentality is still there. Yeah. They didn't establish that. Yeah, he's dead and gone.
May rest in peace, but God, they say you're not supposed to speak ill of the dead, but you know that
he was a piece of work.
He was.
It was like Governor Wallace and Barnett and Bull Connors and them.
He's in that group.
That's what I'm saying.
In that group.
And the Painters District Council, the bad thing about them, they don't feel as though they like that. Guy over there named Carl, he don't see himself being racist.
Well, they never do.
He could be around all white folks.
They never do.
And got one black said, no, we got a black, we got a black.
Man might have two.
No, Wendell was enough. Wendell was a business agent there. And if you think I'm lying, brothers and sisters, I'm going to get this number out 1 or 2 times. Dial 1-314-647-3322. 1-314-647-3327. That's the Painters District Council's telephone number. Right. I want them to call because we might be giving out the wrong information. But I can tell you one thing, they ain't really answering that phone right, and they don't want to keep hearing about this situation with the black folks because they saying we done talked about it enough. You done saying we don't want to do it. Y'all act like we don't understand. We trying to make America great again.
Well, when they call down there, what you want to say?
Just ask them, is it the reason why in 50 years you only hired one black as a business agent? I mean, it's a legitimate answer.
That is.
It's a legitimate answer to say, how did you come up with 95 and you only got 7 black contractors, but you got 95 white contractors, and the contracts you have, is it a reason why? The question just asked, is it a reason why you can't find them? Can you find them at the same place the white folks go to school to get? I mean, whatever way you got them 95 white contractors, can you do that? Ameren UE. I mean, they call themselves Ameren, Missouri, whatever it is, but Ameren, let me ask you a question. Is there any kind of way possible now, wherever you got these, because I understand they got about 150 contractors, and all of them are white. This is what I'm hearing now.
Well, right, that's what we're hearing, but that's might not necessarily be the case, because they may have, and you don't know. You got to try to meet with them to figure out how many blacks are on these jobs and how many black companies that they're doing business with. You see.
Well, I kind of have drilled down, but I want to be sure. But what I'm telling you, let me say like this, I'm 95% sure because I have been drilling down. And what I'm saying to you, man, is when it comes, I'm not talking about even black workers. This particular time when I think I told you I stopped them, I was on Newstead in Penrose. And they had about 15-something trucks out there and about 20-some white boys out there. So I hops out like, damn, like they got damn, what the hell, what are black folks at in the black community? And that's when I start asking questions, and I wind up talking to Jill telling them, because Jill never was over there, which I'm not going to go into all that there, and start kind of working my way on through, because they didn't really give me the information that I needed. They didn't know I was going to make the calls and put things in place where I can go and get there. But as I start drilling down and start talking to some folks, what I done found out, and I'm 100%, well, let me say, I'm 95% sure, I can be corrected if I'm wrong. They don't have black contractors in those positions. What they're doing is they need some help with us putting this out there because they don't have them. And if I'm wrong, then let them correct it.
Well, we need to identify what positions we're talking about and what contracts, because I do know that Ameren does have a minority suppliers council. They have a minority placement, and they have people that are aggressively and actively pursuing minority contractors. So that is a nice portion of that organization in terms of what they're trying to do with that. So we need to be a little more specific in terms of what we want to say about that, because what are we talking about? We're talking about linemen. We're talking about people that are working in the ground. We're talking about other aspects.
Those were the two areas that I specifically talked about, because when I came out today, we was working up high.
Yeah.
That's how I found out about them doing stuff down low. And I won't put the names out yet because I'm going to show them respect just for a minute. But I talked about 3 or 4 blacks in position of power.
Okay.
And they all going to get back with me. And they said, we're going to have a meeting. But what I'm doing is putting out, because I ain't trying to cover for nobody. I'm not going to put them out there and put their names out there. But I'm going to meet with ones that's supposed to be really over all these things. And I'll tell you off there who the names are. But the bottom line is, what I do is when I'm dealing with these companies, I start checking with people that's working on the ground. That always want to say, hey, bro, Shaheed, don't tell them this, but check this out. And ask this question. They can always show you where the bones are.
Like MSD.
Just like MSD.
When we was dealing with MSD.
That's right.
We hit a nerve there that time.
Oh, man, we hit those are called pressure points. Them ain't really nerves.
Right. They were trying to defend themselves, but basically, like you said,
like the damn unions,
have to tell the emperor that he don't have on no clothes. You see, and
yeah,
they
man,
did.
What you just say? Tell the emperor what?
That he doesn't have on any clothes. That's a hard job. Somebody have to go tell him. You know, and that's a hard job.
Hey, emperor, come here for a minute.
Right. Well, you can't say that to the emperor. You got to approach him. You know, you can't call him out. You got to go up there. But that was one of the deals. But with MSD, they still didn't, in my view, meet a majority of the things that they were supposed to be doing.
These
in that
people
regard.
ain't. No,
they still working.
But you got to remember, they got a 20-year program that they might be spending. I'm just gonna make up a number, and I know I ain't far off. I might be more, but we're talking about $5 billion.
Yes. Yeah. Right.
I know what I'm talking about.
You're talking about a sewer infrastructure from all the way out of St. Charles all the way down to the river.
I'm talking about a real infrastructure, not no place. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And when I'm telling you the blacks we getting peanuts. We're not getting pecans. We're not getting real nuts. And I understand with most of them, they have these things in place, but when you don't have monitors, they used to have that with them schools.
Yeah.
And I remember Mahan and them. I know these old names.
Yeah.
I've been around here with you for a long time. And if somebody wasn't monitoring them jobs, they always had a 25-5 in place.
Oh, yeah.
But when you start going checking them numbers and making
compliance.
When you start doing that there, then you start seeing if it's smoking, if it's mirror. And that's when you're going to start seeing if it's real. So that's what I'm going to be doing with Amron, UE, and some of the rest of them. That's what I'm going to be doing with Spires and them, because I ain't letting them off the hook now. You know, they doing some of the stuff they supposed to be doing, but this is how.
And there's a telephone company too, right?
Verizon.
Yeah, okay.
Verizon is still, I'm reaching out to a guy that I got a lot of respect for, and the attorney, he's on it, and I feel comfortable with him. And I'm not going to put his name out there, but he's the attorney for Verizon. And I've been knowing him for years, so the mere fact that he's on it, but, you know, after about next week, depending on what they're doing and saying, you know, I'm going to put it on out there. But this is where, and I'll tie this back into the legacy of Demetrius Johnson. I can tell you right now, if the big fella was here, the big fella would be right on Sunday or right on tomorrow or right on the next day. DJ would be right on the radio show talking about whatever we talking about. I think I told you one time, he called, he said, man, y'all had a hell of a radio program. I said, what are you doing? He said, man, every week, Shaheed, I be listening to y'all. You remember Bosley, man, got some hot, as a witness for me as Allah, he said, man, y'all be covering some hot issues. I said, well, DJ, what we got to do is, you know, we on Saturday, you come right on Sunday, you got some stuff doing the rest of the week, you and Brother Shabazz Smooth. Won't we just, since Brother D Smooth is on, and how come we don't tie into Real STL News and all, and we at least all get on one subject and put it out there, because that's important for, I can tell you right now, tomorrow morning, Sunday morning, DJ would be on this radio talking about whatever we talking about. At least he would hit some of it. He would be talking about, is Amron right? Amron, you is right. If they ain't right, let's call them out. Let's get them on the show. Let's invite them on here. DJ would get the telephone number over the radio, just like what we do. And he would be supporting this because that was his legacy, to stand up and fight for black people. That was his legacy, you know?
That's right.
So, again, to our brother and his family, you have our condolences. Again, heartfelt condolences from 1600, Hallelujah 16, on behalf of Mayor Bosley and his whole staff, and on behalf of the Coalition of Muslim Leaders. And this is what I did last week, the early part of this week, on behalf of the Tahi Youth Group, on behalf of my personal family, on behalf of Mayor Bosley's personal family, on behalf of the city of St. Louis, on behalf of the Nation of Islam, on behalf of Minister Akbar Muhammad and Muslims around the world, because I'm really speaking for the Muslims, but all the community. I mean, when I tell you the Muslim community is devastated, and we're part of this community like everybody else. A lot of times when they talk about clergy, they act like we're not part of the religious group because they say clergy is in hell. When they invite us, they got maybe a frank over there, maybe a chicken, but everything else is what we can't eat, and we ain't really involved. But the Muslim community is hurting, no different from everybody else. DJ helped not just Muslims, not just Christians, not just white folks. DJ helped everybody, not just children. He helped his whole community. So on behalf of 1600, hallelujah, we love you. We're going to miss you, big fella.
But at the same time, too, we're going to celebrate you.
That's right.
We'll celebrate your living, celebrate your contributions, celebrate what you mean to us.
That's right.
He'll live forever.
That's right. That's right.
He'll live forever.
Ain't no
That's it. We only got 2 minutes left in this segment. I wanted to talk a little bit about this is a real important issue, particularly since we in the first of the year, where we can talk about how we can live longer, and how we can be more healthy. There's a study that finds that not consuming enough water
that's heavy.
increases the risk of death by 20%. Not drinking enough water increases the risk of death by 20%. Particularly, this is for adults. Adults who are not hydrated have a 20% increase in terms of the chances that they will die from other related illnesses. But you know, your body needs water, and I'm really bringing this up for personal reasons, because I have a problem with drinking water. I have a problem with my water consumption, and I'm working on that. But I want people to start getting your families involved. It's real simple, but getting your families involved in just drinking water. You see, when I came up with me and Pam, nobody told us to drink water. You know, we drank it, but you know, I think that families need to make drinking water a part of your day-to-day life, particularly. And if you start kids out drinking water, it's much more easier for water and hydration to become a part of your life. And it's so simple. It is so simple.
I'm going to really tie into this here from what Brother Sultan taught me. But the first person that ever really got me on water is my daughter, Antonika.
Was she?
My oldest daughter. And once you really start drinking water on a regular basis, man, you start running in love with it. But let's go to the next segment, then we got to count it down now.
Oh, yeah. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KATZ 1600. Hallelujah.
Just keep it on lock.
AM.
Quit
Keep it on lock. Ho! Please. Welcome back, St. Louis. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600. Hallelujah, AM. My man Anthony Shaheed has been here talking about DJ Demetrius Johnson, and all of the contributions, the fantastic contributions that he has made. And like I was saying, I know it's a sad loss, but we also going to celebrate his living. That's what we do. We celebrate his living.
If I can just get that one part, and then I'll switch to this water. When I tell you, nobody has ever had a motorcade or escort the way Brother Demetrius did. When I say the city of St. Louis showed up and showed out, Colonel Ronnie Robinson led the charge. Colonel Troy Dahl led the charge. Chief Anthony Huckleberry and Pagedale led the charge. Dennis Sharif in Northwood, Chief Sharif led the charge. Ferguson, Chief of Police, led the charge. Berkeley, I'm trying to remember all these municipalities. Art Jackson, they let children never have these many chiefs. I'm missing some chiefs, and I started saying them. They have around 10 or 12 black chiefs there at one place at one time, along with the cars, between 2 days. When I tell you, no less than 200 police cars set the tone who Demetrius Johnson was in this city. They have never seen an escort, a police escort, for nobody the way they've seen it. And they said, this big fella, hey, this is what you did for this community. And what they showed is that the black community don't have a problem with the police. We work right with them. We have a problem with bad police. That's all we said.
That's what
but
you've
that
been saying all along.
That proved it. So I wanted to say that. But you was talking about water. Did you want to jump in there first?
I'm just wanting to get in on this because it's such a simple thing. And it's as simple as it is, it's one of the most important things. You know, drinking water, well, what they call it is hydrating yourself. To hydrate yourself, and you have to consume it. You have to consume water to be hydrated. And those of us, as I was saying, those of us who are adults, we have a 20% greater chance of dying than people who hydrate regularly. And I fall into that category because I don't hydrate the way I should, but I'm working on it. And my daughter helps me with it. But here, what I'm trying to get into now is the families, mothers and fathers, making sure that your children drink water. I mean, and I know the kids they want soda, they want every damn thing but water. But make them drink water. And once they drink the water, water becomes a part of your life. They become adults, and then it goes on, and you contribute to that.
At some point, you'll get a taste for it, and don't nothing else taste right. Once you really start loving water, it was my daughter who taught me to start drinking water.
So how did that come about?
Antonica started telling me that it depends on, I think I went in the restroom and took a leak, and I don't know if I flushed it or whatnot, but however way she came and said, Daddy, your urine is yellow. And I was saying, what do you mean it's yellow? She said, that means you ain't drinking no water. I said, what do you mean? She said, Daddy, your urine's supposed to be clear. It's supposed to be like watercolor. Right. I never knew that. Yeah. She said, you ain't drinking enough water. And then she went to tell me about your toxics.
The toxins, that's how the water moves them out of your body.
But also, water is not just for the outside. You can wash your hands, and brothers, the ones who look at me on video, you can see, and you can wash your outside, but the water also, that's why they say you need to use 8 bottles. That's the less you're supposed to do.
That's right.
Because now it cleans the inside, because if you look at your body on the inside, you got so many intrinsic parts that water can find its way through anything. Yeah. And if you're drinking the right amount of water, it's going to flush all your body parts out. But if you ain't drinking it, then that's a problem. Brother Sultan said something to me. He was just about 92 years old. Brother Sultan said it was water that kept him alive. When Brother Sultan got sick, he wouldn't take nothing, and he lived on nothing but water until he could get up out that hospital. And once he got to the hospital, he started slowly but surely eating this meal and this, because Brother Sultan's never taken pills. They're doing a study on him right now, but he told them the main thing is water. Something simple as what you're saying is water. And once you start drinking water, man, it take that thing to altogether different. I mean, you're on a different level. And I just heard Kevin just said that, you use your water depending on the way you weigh. You drink this water in such a way, it's going to flush you out. It's going to keep your system look good, and you're going to be able to tell from your eyes. And just like if you start drinking on a regular basis, you'll be able to tell from your eyes you're drinking alcohol.
Yeah, and here's the other piece. People that don't drink water age faster.
Oh, hell yeah. That's what
age faster, and your chances, you are at a much, much higher risk of chronic diseases.
Oh, I don't see. Why do you think your body is 3/4 water? The earth is 3/4 water. So water, why do you think when the baby is born, he's born in water? That water represents life. You can go.
He grows in water. The embryo grows in water.
It's only so long you can go without water. Right. Keep on till you try a whole lot of stuff, but go. You think you better try to hold your breath and try to go without water and see how long you're gonna make it.
Yeah, well, and I wanted to put that out here because it's the beginning of the year. We can start people making all kind of resolutions and stuff, but you can start by making a resolution that you will drink more water, and you will encourage your family to drink more water.
That's big.
That is huge. I mean, if you don't do nothing else, and it don't cost nothing. You know, a lot of people want that purified water, and they want water, bottled water, whatever. I like tap water, whatever kind, as long as it's water. So, and you're right. Now that I've started drinking it, I have a taste for it now. I used to didn't have a taste for it, but now I have a taste.
It'll make your food taste better. It's an old saying, and this is an Islamic saying. It said, take care of the five before the five take care of you. Let your youth be before you become old. Let your health be before you become sick. Let your wealth be before you become poor. Let your time before you're too busy or preoccupied, and let your life be before your death. Take care of the five before the five take care of you. Take that water in now.
That's right.
Because if you don't clean your system out, and Father Time gonna do his job anyway. You can't. There ain't nothing you can do. I don't care how much trillions and billions of dollars you get. You don't got enough. I promise you. So you got to do certain things to try to keep yourself here. And like you said, the main thing you got to do is try to stay here as long as you can for your grandchildren, as you start getting older, your children, or for yourself. I mean, you want to care about them too, but you want to first worry about yourself. I think this is one of the biggest pieces you done said, Mary, in a long time. This water. We really need to do another piece on this next week. Water.
And we will, and we're going to. But, you know, the main thing is to just get accustomed to having it. You know, for a long time, I dismissed that. And for a long time, I ignored it. For a long time, because I never craved it. You know, but it's not that you have to crave it. It's something that you have to do for your body.
It's what God done put in for us. And once you start taking water and start really getting into water, you're going to understand, let your health be before you become sick. That's one of the fives. You got to take care of the five. If you don't, them five are going to take care of you.
That's right.
So I'm thankful that you even brought that. That's a heavy, I mean, we done talked about a lot of heavy stuff in the last few years, but this is one of the heaviest.
Yes.
Water is not something that you can just put to the side like it ain't important. That's why God created it.
Right. Well, the issue is, though, if you do, you're going to pay for it. See, that's the key. And so I'm correcting it with myself before something like some kind of disease or chronic disease or something. And at my age, you know, you say you age faster if you don't drink it.
Oh, you're right.
You see, so I'm going, you know, I've started that. I'm up to 4, 5, 6, 7 glasses a day now, you know, so I'm doing better.
Hopefully next week we can continue that. And I want to tie something else into it, which is important for especially young people. Start thinking about breastfeeding your children, and I want to really teach on breastfeeding like I've never taught on it before. So I pray Allah that y'all make sure, Kevin, next week, and Mr. Seth Close, that we do not forget to talk about this breastfeeding, because it's one of the heaviest things you can talk about is that titty milk.
Yeah. Oh, I'll say the young brother that got Damir Hamlin.
Okay.
We got to say something about him. And Seth, you want to go and take us out with that?
We got 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, real fast.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania native and Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin had a serious injury. Heart stopped beating. He was resuscitated twice. But as of the most recent update, he is in critical condition but stable condition.
And so let's pray. Let us pray and help hold him and his family.
We got to close it out. You've been listening
come on, man. You've been listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ. Keep it on. Hallelujah. Damn.